with all their might, saving worlds, making things right. In their hearts they hold the light. Clashing through each villain we face, justice calls, it's not a race. Capes and masks, bravery shown, in their hands truths unknown. Heroes rise, light the night, battle on with all their might, saving worlds, making things right. In their hearts they hold the light. Through the shadows, through the fight, they stand tall, defend the night. Unity, strength, love they give, in the spirit forever live.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Clobberin Times Comic Book Roundtable. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and I can finally talk about something. I can finally reveal something because the prototype stage is over. They are now in like a beta phase of this, and it is finally getting out into the public. That video created that music. So stop, reverse it. Suno will take a video and create music around that video.
Cool.
And then you can add and tweak here and there and do what you want. But you can get that now. Go check out Suno if you like stuff like that. If you like the music. If you want to be like, you know what, Loki, I created this badass video, but I really can't get the sound right. Dump that video into Suno and see what it comes up with. They are finally in the beta phase, and they're getting stuff out, so you can actually create music centered around a video, and it will try and shape that music to whatever video you uploaded. So, greetings, everybody. Welcome to Clobberin Times Comic Book Roundtable. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Wednesday, kicking butt and taking names. I want to welcome everybody here. We've got Keith, the movie geek. What's up, Keith? What is up, brother? How are you doing? Hopefully, you were doing well, kicking ass, taking names over at Pop Culture Minefield. Good to see you, brother. Penny, good evening, Penny. I almost said good morning. Good evening, Penny. So good to see you. What is up, Spencer? What are you doing, dude? He said, where's the big lab? Not my crypto. It's not my crypto. He's like a furry puppy, too. He's not a lab, right? He's not a big lab. He's not a big Labrador. That's yeah. Well, he was a golden retriever in Smallville. So who knows? But that wasn't really crypto. That was some dog that they gave superpowers to that they didn't even name it crypto. I think Clark was going to call it crypto, and then they were like, no, Shelby or some shit like that. I don't remember. It's been too long since I watched it. Can that music always be CCR? I effing hate Eagles. It'll make the music depending on what you input. And work around like what you're throwing at it. So you can come up with your own lyrics, you can come up with your own stuff, you can input it into the system, and it will create something centered around what you have told it to create. It's all about your input and what you put into it and what it sees from the video. So all the, Spider-Man, X-Men, Superman, Wonder Woman, all that stuff came from the video. I don't know why I did X-Men. I think he did X-Men because it saw Wolverine and just assumed X-Men. X-Men. I don't think it says anything about Deadpool, though. But a nice little tool that you guys can have if you are an aspiring video editor, just aspiring to create some music or whatever. Just throw something in there and see what you can come up with. It's always fun getting to play around with stuff. I wish I had more time to sit there and mess with Suno and mess with the designs of everything, because I could sit there all day and just mess with the music and play with it and have a good time. So I wish I had more time. I just don't have enough time. I keep running out of time. I'm going to run out of time today to get everything done. God help me. I'm so under the gun that Mark was like, "Are you sure you want to do this stream tonight, Loki?" I was like, "Yeah, we can do it. We'll figure it out." How are you doing, Mark? How are you doing, man?
Fighting allergies and sinus infections and all that fun stuff, but doing fine. Other than that,
That sounds extraordinary.
yeah, at least I sound human right now. So, but doing good, doing good.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Classic. How are you doing, brother?
Doing all good, man. Glad to be back. It's been pretty busy lately, but doing all right.
Heck yeah. And I was showing all my DMs. That was nice. I'm glad you're doing okay. DJ Play Nice, what's up, brother? He's like, okay. DJ. What's up, brother? So, have you guys seen this?
Oh yeah, I saw it earlier.
Yeah, just saw that image. That's it.
So it's almost like a video. You've got like the Earth spinning and Superman sitting there with Krypto, and what are they talking about? What has got Krypto's ears all?
I like the image. I mean, it's a good image. I think I like the feeling it evokes. It feels very kind of classic, kind of Silver Agey Superman. But doing Krypto in a movie, in live action, it's going to be tricky doing that and making it not come across as too silly.
Will he talk? Do you think he'll talk?
Well, I mean, he could. I don't think he ever really spoke to people. He would talk to other dogs, and you could see his thought balloons, but he wouldn't just talk to a person and be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I can see that working out real well. Your dog talks. Yeah, I don't mind him. He's Kryptonian. How do you have a Kryptonian dog? I'm Superman. Do you think he'll have heat vision? I want to see a dog go off on somebody with heat vision. Like, get out of here, mutt. Goes to kick him, and he's like, "Oh, I'll pry your leg off. You me." Oh, that of course would not be proper Superman and Krypto, but still, it would be funny. I don't know. I'm. Why does he have a collar? Not the dog. I'm not talking about the dog. I'm talking about Soups here. He's got this blue collar that comes up above the cape, and I'm like, oh.
It's kind of like the New 52 costume. I'm okay with it. I want to see the suits, the way it looks in the movie before I judge it too harshly. I mean, it's not what I would prefer, but I'm not that hung up on a collar. If the rest of the movie is good, then I won't care about the collar.
It's like, oh my God, you got to watch it. Why do I have to watch it again? Just pause it. How about that? There we go. Can we go bigger? There we go. Okay. I don't like the S. Don't ask me why I don't like the S. I don't like the fat middle of the S. Now we're going into picky comic book mode Loki. I don't like the big middle of the S. But I don't know if I really. Okay, I got to take the glasses off. One of the rare times you'll see me do this because my eyes dry out. Yeah, fun. It's just not. It looks just like a line through the shield. It does not look like an S. It's missing the tail at the bottom. It's missing the little. It looks just like a bar, a horizontal bar going through the S. Am I the only one that sees this?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I see it too.
I don't know, the collar, the S. I like the fact that the S is on the cape. I always like that. That was always my preferred cape. Was a long cape. It cannot be the short cape. God help me. Why does Superman have a cape that goes down to his butt? No, it's got to like Darth Vader down to the heels. He needs the long cape. So he's got the long cape. That's good. He's wearing the right colors. That's good. We don't need any more black and silver, even though I like it. I like the black and silver. We don't need that in another movie. We don't need dark demon Superman. We need something with hope and good. And no, please don't tell me, well, it actually stands for hope. Yeah, we all know that. We don't need a lesson in bullshit. It's not an S. It's a symbol. It stands for hope. Okay, thank you very much. Kal-El, shut the hell up. Stop sounding like Jor-El. I don't know. I don't like the S, but he at least looks like kind of like Superman. But then you get this view. Hold on, I'm gonna change this real quick. Yeah, we see your puppy. So they're on the moon, apparently. Where's the other picture of him standing up front? It's the one that I've got. Ugh. No. Okay, I like that. I like that. Ace. Let Ace and Krypto go at it. No, we don't need a Krypto movie. Gotta help me. Where's the picture of him from the front? No, we're not going to get that. Let me go back one. He knows something's up. He can hear something. No, I don't need video. I just want to get a look at the front of the suit. No, we don't need that one. I've already been there. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. I don't know why they're rebooting him so soon anyway. Oh, I miss my friend Christopher Reeves. Reeve. Sorry, Clobby. God help me. He'd be the first one to be like, it's Reeve, dude, not Reeves. Okay, I can't find a damn picture. I've got it on the damn thumbnail. I don't know why I'm like sitting here searching through. Okay. I'll just pull it up front. There. What is wrong with that suit?
Let's see. No body, no muscles to fill it out like every other person that's played Superman, and it's padded and it's very badly padded.
It's almost baggy.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Yeah, all the texturing on it, it makes it look, like it's not fitting well. Like they look like folds in the garment rather than, I think, the way they're supposed to look. But again, it's, things sometimes look different in a photo than they will on the screen.
He's going to they're going to CGI the suit. So we know that. We know they're going to CGI the suit. That's a given. That they're going to CGI part of the suit. It's not going to be a full CGI like Green Lantern, but they're going to CG part of the suit. Is that why they've got the long giant collar around his neck? I don't know. But this does not, I don't know. It doesn't look nearly as good as the last one. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. It's hard to go. What are you guys trying to do when they did that horrible job in Justice League of doing the suit? Go back to pausing it right there. Does this get you guys excited?
Not really.
Not excited, no, but I am. It does add a little more of intrigue to me for the movie, just to see how they're going to be able to pull Krypto off and make it work.
Well, if anybody could pull Animal Sidekick off, it's James Gunn. I mean, look what he did with Crypto. I mean, not Crypto. Rocket. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's a good point.
are you gonna try to drag Bradley Cooper over? Are you gonna go with somebody else? Who, I mean, it just seems kind of stale to jump back into the same thing. I mean, I'm not a big Superman fan. Don't know much about Crypto, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, the picture looks cool. But I'd go like you said, like you said earlier about going with more closer to the dog that was in the original comic, other than using a standard mutt. But the story is kind of heartfelt if you read the story about how he made the choice to use the dog. So I give it props for using Stray.
Loki, the color, in my opinion, is still referring to Jim Lee's New 52. Yes, it looks like
Yeah.
New 52. And every time I bring that up, someone's always like, oh, you didn't like the New 52? Hell no, I didn't like the New 52. Oh, New 52 is not bad. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Maybe I'm just old school, whatever. But yeah, it is. They reset everything, and that's when everything started to go to the point where they've got Superman bent over in a prison and they're about to nightstick him. Ugh. Thank you, Joe Dog. Screw 52 is where D began. Yeah. Yeah. The Screw 52. Damn straight. I don't know. I'm just not that excited.
And
Definitely
again,
not as excited was for Man of Steel. When Man of Steel turned into Man of Stool. Love you, Clobby. And some of that movie I liked, but a lot of it I didn't like the stuff with Pa Kent. I absolutely hated that. Oh, Superman's just going to stand there and let his dad die to a tornado. It wasn't a heart attack. It wasn't something he couldn't control. There's something you have to understand about that scene with Jonathan near the barn with Christopher Reeve's Superman in that first Superman movie. He had to come to the realization that even with all of his powers, all of his abilities, everything he could do, he still couldn't save his dad.
right.
And that's the realization of, I am not a god. No matter how powerful I am, I can't save everybody.
Yeah, I think that scene's just another example of how Snyder doesn't get Superman. He just, it's like when he talks about how Batman should kill or Superman should kill. It's like, dude, you don't get these characters. You just stop.
Now, the thing with Superman and Zod, we've had moments where Superman took out Zod in the comic books. He had to. He didn't have any other choice. He had to do it. He took out what's her name? Fiona or whatever her name is.
Theora.
Thank you. And the other one. He took him. Why can I not remember his name? This is what you get for smoking pot in your teenage years.
So in the comics, are you referring to during the Byrne run when he killed them with kryptonite? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was actually thinking about when Supergirl comes in from the other world, the one that was created by Lex Luthor, the Metamorph, because that was my Supergirl. My Supergirl was the Metamorph that Luthor sent to our Superman's world to get him and bring him back and fight Zod, Fiora, and Add-on or whatever the hell his name is.
It was Quetzal in that story. It was Quetzal was the other one.
Quetzal, okay. And he took him out. He had to. He didn't have any other choice. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Why? Because they are on the same level. It's like Superman fighting Doomsday. They are on the same level. They are on the same playing field. Superman has to do what he has to do. Under normal circumstances, no. With a human, hell no. He wouldn't do anything like that. But the Zod thing, I at least get that. I at least get it. Could they have done it better? Hell yes, they could have done it better. The whole thing where he's like, I'm gonna kill the humans, Cal. Oh, you're just gonna have to kill me if you want to stop me. Yeah, I get what he was trying to do, but what lesson did we learn from that movie was okay, Superman can kill, and Superman couldn't save his dad because his dad was like, no, son, no, it doesn't work like that. He wanted the angsty rebellion. I'm going to have a fight with my dad and tell him he's not my real father, and then he's going to die in front of me because I didn't go and save him. Spencer! But it was deep, Loki. I imagine it was. God help me. As deep as that nightstick in that one comic. God help me, dude. This is why I hated Man of Steel. Joe Dog, I'm not arguing with you. There's a lot of reasons why Man of Steel wasn't what it should have been. And they screwed it up even more again and again and again. Maybe Gunn can get it right. I don't know. But I know that I look at the suit and I'm like, ugh, please clean it up. Post CGI the shit out of it. Do whatever you got to do. Get rid of the collar. It looks like ass. Oh, it'll be in the first movie. It'll turn Superman into Supergirl.
Well,
Clara.
The movie, one of the issues I have is the movie just feels really cluttered because there's so many characters in it. But on top of that, you've got this whole issue of, I don't know, it's like he's grabbing influences from different places because he's got the new 52 style uniform, but then you've got Krypto, who's a Silver Age character, really, mainly a Silver Age character. So I don't know, it just feels like he doesn't, like he isn't certain of what version of Superman he's even doing, you know?
And if we can't trust him to know that, how can we trust him to do the rest of the movie?
I don't think lightning will strike twice. I mean, Guardians, yeah, I mean, when he did Guardians, that was a movie that nobody was expecting, and he got it right. But you're going with a very, they aren't iconic like Superman is. Superman is the icon. I mean, you've got to get it right the first shot, or you might as well just go home. And I don't think he's going to grasp lightning in a bottle. I don't. If he does, more power to him. But this doesn't look like it to me.
If you knew what the Guardians of the Galaxy were before Marvel came out with the movies, raise your hand. You can throw it in the chat too.
But my Guardians of the Galaxy aren't those Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, I know, but just Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, I know who they were.
Yeah.
And even though those aren't the comic book Guardians of the Galaxy, it was good.
Yeah.
But nobody knew about him. Very few people, unless you were really into comics, you didn't know what the hell Guardians of the Galaxy was. Now it's hot because they made 3 freaking movies, and they were in what, 6 movies?
And that's what made it work too, because nobody knew who they were. I mean, Star-Lord, I mean, he wasn't even around, and like Chris just said, Vance Ashcroft, the original Guardians were my Guardians, which would have been an even better movie, but it wouldn't have been as funny.
Good evening, DJ. So he had pretty much like, he didn't have a lot of pushback because not a lot of people knew about it. And they're good movies. I mean, out of all the Marvel movies, that's up in at least probably my top 5 is Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
So he still made a great movie. He still made a fun movie. And the problems I have with 3, I thought the whole Christmas special with, damn it, what's his name? Kevin Bacon. I thought that was hilarious as shit. I laughed my ass off. I was like, I don't even like the MCU anymore, and I still found that hilarious. The fact that they go and kidnap Kevin Bacon and bring him to Star-Lord because it's Kevin Bacon. Merry Christmas! We brought you Kevin Bacon. Dumbasses.
Sadly, I have yet to see that movie. I need to watch it, I suppose. I never got around to watching the third one.
Well, you're not missing that much.
Well,
Kevin Bacon's not in the third one, but Kevin Bacon is in the Christmas special.
Oh, okay. The Christmas special. I'll have to watch that.
That watch. I think it's only like 10 or 15 minutes, something like that.
I'll check it out.
But again, Guardians is not Superman.
Nope.
Everybody knows who Superman is.
Mm-hmm.
If you go, you've heard of Superman, right? Yeah. Blue, yellow suit, red shield or yellow shield. Flies through the air. Laser beams shoot out of his eyes.
That's the problem. You got to grab the normies. I mean, I hate to say it. You got to grab everybody, but the normies that don't collect. I mean, like you just said, everybody knows who Superman is. If you can't touch on that subject without having an origin story, which God forbid, this will be what this between the original movies in the 70s. This will be what the fourth origin story.
Not if you count all the TV stuff.
I'm not going to count the TV stuff, but I mean, if you just look at the movies from Christopher Reeve on up, I mean, this will be the fourth time. So origins are not needed, but also if you want to grab the fans, you got to give them a little bit of something. I mean, not the fans, but the normies.
Are you counting Brandon Roth in that?
Yes, I'm counting Brandon Roth.
Well, that was a continuation of Reeves' Superman.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. That was supposed to be anyway. So Roth was supposed to be taking over for Christopher Reeve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that was like the same Superman. It wasn't really a reboot. Yeah, he lands in Kansas at the farm, but he's an adult and he's like, I'm back. Hi, Mom. And that was a shitty movie. God help me.
I always count that as a standalone movie. I never really counted it as part of it. I counted that as a reboot.
It's supposed to be
a soft reboot. A soft.
Yeah,
reboot.
it's kind of a quasi reboot because they basically ignore 3 and 4.
Yeah,
and go directly from 2.
So yeah, four reboots plus countless TV shows. What do you got? You got Superman and Lois. You've got Superboy. You've got Smallville. You've got
Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark.
And the original George Reeves show.
And the original George Reeves, plus the animated series. Plus the same animated one was in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and that's all the same character. So
radio serials as well. You kind of have to throw them in there. I mean, they are part of the legend if you're going to include the TV all the way back to George Reeves. So,
I mean, this is Americana. This is like apple pie. Superman is like apple pie.
Yeah.
Just don't tell the people that made the apple pie movie that. American Pie. Yeah, that one.
And like Joe Doc said, Superman's inspirational. You don't tamper with that. And that's the problem. They're tampering with it too much.
Chris Burgess says, I knew the roster used, but it was an eclectic team and Gunn is suited for weird and obscure characters, which is why his Guardian movies worked for the most part. He flopped with Adam Warlock. Not his fault. That was the studio pushing because he had Ben Browder ready to play Adam Warlock. That's who was supposed to come out of the cocoon was Ben Browder.
I wish that had happened.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's who was supposed to be Adam Warlock was Ben Browder. And yeah, I absolutely love him as an actor. So that would have been insanely crazy and wacky. Instead, we get Mama's Boy.
Well, but the thing was, I mean, wasn't it after the second one? Isn't that after when he got in trouble with those tweets, and then Marvel basically fired him,
Yep.
and he was pretty much out the door. But then Feige then came after him and said, no, 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 come back. But he'd already committed to DC at that point. So yeah,
Imagine how badass that would have been to have a Ben Browder instead of, but Mama said, Mama said, Mama said, well, Mama's wrong again. Keith says Kirk Allen was the first movie Superman.
yeah, he did the serials in the 40s.
Young Justice, yeah, we've got Young Justice too. We could do the Question movie for 50 million, and if done right, would be awesome. I know Ben Browder was in Guardians too. So if you remember, the Queen leader, whatever, was like they share all their genetics. She was supposed to take her commander, which was Ben Browder, and make him into a super soldier, basically using genetics from all the blah blah blah, from all the people, making him like a superhuman. That would have been cool. I would have been totally down with that. Out of everything in Guardians 3, that's probably the weakest of it all is Warlock. And they should have done it before the Infinity Gauntlet. They should have done it before Infinity War.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Because he should have been. Adam Warlock should have had the Soul Stone, and that should have been where it started.
They went through all the trouble of building up to that, of starting out with that, of the Tesseract, of all of it. They went through all of that trouble, and I don't know. It just that last movie, the last MCU movie that I think really ended everything, was just, yeah, there's some great parts to it, but it ends on such a sour, shitty note. You know, there's a cut scene in that with where Tony Stark's talking to his daughter after he does the snap. Have y'all seen that?
No, I've never seen it.
So it's about a 4-minute scene where as soon as Tony does the snap, he's in the same place that Black Widow died.
And Vormir.
Yeah. And I was like, I thought it was her at first. When I saw the scene, I was like, oh shit, is he talking to Natasha? And no, he's not. It's a fully grown version of his daughter. And she's telling him, you know, we all get to live. She's basically telling him everything that's about to happen. She's like, I came back. All these people came back. And you did it. You saved everybody. Even though you're not around anymore, you're the reason why we all live. You're the reason why we have hope. You're the reason why the human race continued, is because you sacrificed yourself. And they have this beautiful conversation. I'm like, why the shit would you take that out of the movie? Because you're dumb. That's why.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the movie was already long anyway. What's 4 minutes going to hurt? It would have gave it a lot more flavor, like you just said, to actually hear the discussion.
No, I don't know. I have a very, very difficult time trusting anyone with any of these properties anymore. Am I just a skeptic now? Am I just one of those people that's going to be like, nope, prove to me that's going to be good before I go and see it? Because otherwise I'm not going to go and see it.
Yeah, I would say you're more of a comic purist like Classic and I are, and probably everybody in chat as well, because you've read the comics and you know the stories, and a little bit of disappointment falls in with they didn't exactly follow the storyline. They gave the basis for it, but didn't follow storylines completely.
Yeah. You get a basic bitch version and I hate that. DC did the same thing, and you wonder why I don't trust them. DC did the exact same thing with Doomsday. Do you know what a badass lead up Doomsday had? He wakes up, breaks free. The Justice League intercept him, and he takes out the entire Justice League. Now, no, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern aren't there, but they do have a lantern. They have Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
They've got Fire and Ice. They've got all these badass people there fighting. They've got Martian Manhunter. They've got what's her name? The badass bitch that wanted to breed with Clark at one point.
Maxima.
Maxima. They've got Maxima. They've got all these badass characters, and Doomsday wipes the floor with them all.
Wasn't Booster Gold there and he got his ass
Booster. Oh, dude, he got like
Yeah.
one punched.
Yeah.
He got one punched. Blue Beetle was there, the old
Mhm.
Blue Beetle, not the new one. He got one punched. It was just Maxima. It ended up in the end, towards the end, it ended up being Martian Manhunter, Maxima, Supergirl, and Superman. And Maxima, Martian Manhunter, and Supergirl all get taken out. And at the end, it's just Superman and Doomsday fighting it out to the death. And that was so crazy. That was absolutely so crazy. The way all of it happened, the way all of it went down. And God bless our fallen friend Clobberin, who absolutely hated it. And I love him for it. He didn't like it. Don't like it. Don't like him killing off Superman. But man, I was so into comics at that point. And I turned my back from Superman. One of the greatest lessons in life was the scene in that comic book when the kid is like, "Oh, what is he gonna go do? Get a cat out of a tree? Superman's lame. I want to see Guy Gardner. I want to see this. I want to see that." You know what I was saying at the time? Superman is so lame. Batman is so lame. I want to see Wolverine and Colossus and all these badasses doing all this badass thing. So when it was like, Superman's dead, they're going to kill off Superman. I had to go back, and I'm literally that teenage kid that's like, in the book, that's like, "Oh, what, Superman? Nothing's ever going to happen to him. He'll be around forever." Jarrell said to say hi to Richard Pryor, Superman. Jarrell was ask his wife, "What's up, Werewolf Jeebus? Are you related to Monkey Jeebus? Or are you Monkey Jeebus in werewolf form for Halloween?" Martian Manhunter was in disguise. Batman is not lame. And Robin is not lame. One of the best things about there is shit in that series that I will never forget. One of the best things was some guy was gonna attack the crowd. He had a BOMB. He had like pipe stuff, and he was going to set off an explosion at the funeral for Superman. And Batman and Robin caught him. And Robin's like, "Are we going to break his legs, Batman?" He's like, "No. Today we do it his way. We'll take him in." And I was like, holy shit, he's not going to do anything to him. He's going to take him in. He's going to, have him arrested and take him in, because this is Superman City. This is Metropolis. And that was such a cool damn thing that it just showed the ultimate respect of Batman. No, this is his final day. This is his funeral, and it's his city. We'll do it his way. I was like, holy shit, man, I love Batman. That whole series got me back into DC and kept me back in DC for at least like another 10 years. It kept me reading DC comics. So of course I'm going to gush all over it, and I'm going to love it, because it kept me around. It kept me interested. And if comic books keep you interested, if movies keep you interested, then shit. But if they don't, if they're just a train wreck, if it's just, oh well, we're gonna do it, but we're not gonna really make him Superman because that's all old hat now. Sorry, you tried that already. Didn't work, did it? Was it Bloodwind?
Yeah, it was Martian Manhunter was disguised as another character for a time.
Okay, I
course, but
remember it being Martian Manhunter though.
Yeah, and then later it turned out Bloodwind was a real person. It was a real convoluted thing.
Mess. I can see that happening in DC. You don't say it ain't so. Classic. That DC would do something convoluted and up its own ass.
Yeah, who would have thought it? But yeah, it showed in that whole DCEU Snyderverse thing. I mean, it just showed that they just didn't know what they were doing, because it's like you said, like it's like right out of the box. Okay, let's do Death of Superman, and here's Doomsday. 2 movies in, and it's like, okay, this is something you build up to. You don't just do it right away. But they didn't care about that. They just wanted to get to the team up so they could make Avengers money.
Yeah. Something pulls the main Justice League guys out, which is exactly what happened in the comics. You've got the B team there. You've got your B team, you got your noobs, you got whatever. And Superman's busy on the other side of the world when, I mean, you don't even have to do the whole like leading up to Metropolis. You could just have him come into Metropolis. The ground shaking, the city's shaking, no one knows what's going on. And the Justice League goes out and fights Doomsday and gets their asses handed to him. And then Superman shows up, and you've got the Superman Doomsday fight. And you end the movie with him saving everyone he can in Metropolis, as much as he can. A huge fight. You set it up to where you've got the ability to have Steel and the other Supermen come in, because you've got to do that. You have to do that. That is so important to have those other Supermen there. If you just do one, we cloned him over at the Lex Luthor lab. They tried that. Guess what? Nobody liked the Death of Superman cartoon. And 8 years later, they made another one. Why? Because the first one sucked so bad. Because they weren't committed to doing it right. And that's what it comes down to. Are you committed to doing it right? Are you committed to doing it the way we are all going to go nuts over and love it? No, they're not. That's another reason why I have no faith that this is going to be good. I just don't. I wish I did. I really do.
Well, again, going back to James Gunn, I mean, he is a comedic writer, and Superman is not a story a story that comedy doesn't fit well with. I mean, really, any of the big three, comedy is not factored into it. I mean, was it Chris earlier, and you agreed that quirkiness, Gunn's a quirky writer, so picking up somebody else, maybe bringing, like I said, Booster Gold would probably be a better writing job for Gunn than actually going after taking on Superman itself.
Well, we're supposed to have a bunch of people in this movie. Keith brings up, according to rumors, Batman and the Brave and the Bold film will be middle-aged, with Robin, Damian Wayne at 12, along with the other members of the Bat family cast, Richard, Jason, Tim, and Damian. I think we huffed at the same time.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah. Another character that doesn't deserve existence. Thank you, New 52.
I'm your son, and I was raised by assassins. Great.
Well, that was
Dark
before the
bullshit.
New 52, though.
But I mean, wasn't that? I mean, I'm not the DC aficionado that you two are. Wasn't he brought in with the New 50 as a main character? I know he was off. It was a side. I mean, it was a different story, like a different Earth. But wasn't he brought in mainly through New 52? Or am I completely wrong?
No, it was a little before that, I think,
Okay.
because I'm trying to think. Because he came in on Grant Morrison's run on Batman, and that was
Hmm.
like in the mid to late 2000s,
Hmm.
I think. I mean, I don't remember the exact year, but Damian was Robin, I think, before the New 52 came along,
Ah,
like maybe a year or two earlier.
well, I can tell you the last DC comic that I picked up in the '90s was Sovereign 7. If that tells you anything, that's how long ago I was reading it. So that's been a good while.
Damian only worked well alongside Dick's run as Batman. Can Dick be Batman?
I think
Can
he
Dick
could.
Grayson be Batman?
I think he could. A darker side of Batman, maybe.
Well, he
Don't
has
make
been.
him.
He
Yeah,
has
true.
been Batman for a short period. Again, because the way I remember it, and I don't remember everything right, but at the end of Final Crisis, which was like 2007, 2008, at the end of that, Batman seemingly was dead. And then in the wake of that, Dick became Batman and Damian became Robin. And then they operated together for like a year or two. But then, of course, Bruce came back. So I'm guessing that was around, like 2008 to 2010, probably somewhere around there. And New 52 was 2011. So it came close after that.
What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think this is going to be good? Do you think this is going to be bad? Should I put up a poll? Or are you guys just like going to throw it out there and be like, no, Loki, no, Loki, no, Loki? Yeah, I think it's going to be good, Loki. I'll give it a chance, Loki. Let's see. Start a poll.
I think as fans, we deserve something better.
Yes,
I
but
mean,
they'll call us Yahtzees and all kinds of shit if we
What?
ask for it.
let them. I mean, you have Superman. What, 80 years of eight? If correct me if I'm wrong, Classic and Loki, 80 years worth of stories that you could tell that don't necessarily have to involve early '90s and 2000 plots. Some of them can be goofy, but there's plenty of story to tell out there besides that.
Hold up. If anybody wants to do it, it's in chat. Let me know. There's a yes, a no, and a maybe.
Same way with Batman. You don't have to retell the same stories. The Joker gets old after a while. There are plenty of villains, better villains than the Joker that they could use.
Well, let's see, who have they used? They've used Penguin. They've used Catwoman. They've used Bane. Ooh, the Bane of my
They
existence.
didn't use Bane correctly, though. That's the
Oh,
problem.
and in any of the movies, they didn't use Bane correctly. He's been in 2.
Yeah, true.
Poison Ivy, Joker, Riddler, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze. Am I missing anybody?
Did you mention Scarecrow?
Scarecrow,
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul, that's 10.
As far as the movies go, I think that's it.
And a crap load in the animated series. They've got plenty of stuff to do. It always comes back to, let's do an origin story. And we'll do an origin story about a villain to go along with it.
Well, in fairness, Nolan to me did it right out of all the Batman movies. If you're gonna look at the villains the way they did it, I prefer Heath Ledger's Joker way better than I prefer Jack Nicholson's, even though his was campy. Nicholson's was campy.
I love Nicholson's. I absolutely love Nicholson's. I love Heath Ledger's, but I love Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's too bad that Nicholson wasn't there with Catwoman, because then Nicholson could have smiled and been like, I always liked a little pussy after lunch. So, it's not a lab, Chaka. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith for this movie, but I want it to be good. I want the dog to be good. They don't, they can race swap Krypto if that's what they want to do. We'll see how it comes out. I didn't come up with that joke. That was Mark D with a C who came up with that joke earlier. They race swap Krypto.
No.
I don't know who's looking forward to the new Fantastic Four. I don't know who's looking forward to anything coming out of Marvel besides Deadpool. More Deadpool. People are like, oh, give us more Deadpool. You certainly use more Deadpool. Give us more Wolverine.
Still think they're going to do more damage with Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. I don't think that's going to work out well.
No.
I think it's going to be a death knell is what it's going to be.
Well, there are already people saying that that's not even Doctor Doom. That's going to be a figurehead in place of the real Doctor Doom.
Like a bait and switch.
Yeah, like what they did in Iron Man 3. With the Mandarin. God,
Yeah.
I was so excited for that. I was so I was like, damn, that's going to be badass. And then they just made him a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah, I hated that.
Oh, I'm just an actor. I'm just a nobody. I'm like, oh, guys, you had it.
Trevor Slattery.
You had it. You had Ben Kingsley. You had Ben Kingsley, he was scary. He was intimidating. He knew what he was doing, and he was nuts. He could have been absolutely positively nuts. A crazy genius that matched Tony's intellect, but he was absolutely nuts and crazy. And you screwed it up for some environmental bullshit message. I don't know. I'm almost out of F's to give. So we'll look at the polls. What do we got on the poll? We got 9 votes. 9 of you voted. And the biggest lead we've got right now is maybe at a 44%. We've got maybe. Kyle Chanier is way too old to be Hal Jordan. I agree with that. Glenn Powell should be Hal Jordan because Hal, John, Ollie, Barry, Clark are all the same age within 2 to 3 years. Well, they got Jon Stewart. They cast Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I'm happy about that. Oh, Loki, is it because he's black? No, Jon Stewart's black. God help me.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares about that. You want someone good, though. You need someone good in there that's going to kick ass. What has this guy done?
The only person that could play Jon Stewart right is too old to play the part. That's Avery Brooks.
Yes. Yes. God, I would have loved Avery Brooks, Jon Stewart. Marine Corps Jon Stewart or the other Jon Stewart?
Marine Corps Jon Stewart, in my opinion. Yes.
That's brilliant. My favorite Jon Stewart was the one on the Justice League Unlimited. Even though he was in a relationship with
Hot Girl,
which pissed me off to no end.
The thing that gets me is if you're going to cast an older Hal Jordan, then why didn't you just get Nathan Fillion to do it?
Yep.
That was the rumor, was that Nathan Fillion was going to be Hal Jordan.
I thought it was blah, 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 what's his face? Not Hal Jordan, but shit. I'm having a brain fart. The Green Lantern with the Mo haircut and the comic relief Green Lantern. I'm having a complete nutter brain fart.
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner. I thought that's who he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing Guy Gardner.
Okay.
Oh, he is? Nathan Fillion's playing Guy Gardner?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense, but He'd be the hothead. He'd make a much better Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glenn Powell would make a good Booster Gold, I think. I'd like to see that. But he could probably play Hal too. He could probably pull it off.
But Chris, they've also made it canon in the comics that Doom can be more than one person. So if you had a world that was taken over by Doom that had an Iron Man and he beat Iron Man, and then he was like, "You're going to be the one everyone thinks is Doom, and I'm going to be the one playing puppet master in the shadows." That makes a lot more sense than Tony coming out and being like, I'm Doctor Doom."
Actually, Reed Richards from an alternate timeline would make more sense as Doctor Doom, in my opinion.
Yes, yes.
That's just me saying that. I mean, they've already screwed it up and with Kang and Rama Tut, where they could have done those kind of timelines, but now that they've blown that out of the water, that ship sailed.
Well, they were talking about Pedro being a bad guy, Pedro Pascal being a bad guy. They were talking about that. They literally talked about that. I can't remember who the hell it was, but they were talking about how most likely that Reed was going to end up being a bad guy, and She-Hulk was going to take his place. Where the hell did I read that? I read that somewhere. Whether it was, I don't know whether it was bounding into comics. I don't know where the hell I read that, but I read it somewhere where the big leak was Reed is going to turn evil, become Doctor Doom, and what's her name? Invisible Woman was going to be the leader.
It'd be cool if she became Malice, where she snapped if Reed became Doctor Doom, and she became Malice like she did in the comic book for a while. That would be cool.
Well, she was going to be the leader of the Fantastic Four, and they were going to bring She-Hulk in from the She-Hulk show, and she was going to be on the team because she was a Fantastic Four member.
Yeah, but she took Ben Grimm's place. She took Thing's place.
Yeah,
that was the thing. She was the muscle of the group.
It would be nice to see Galactus. God help me. He's going to be a frozen figure forever in the ice.
Let's just get Silver Surfer done right. Seeing that they got all the rights to everybody now.
Yeah, they can't do that either. Okay, final thoughts. Anything you guys want to drop before we get out of here? Promotions, whatever you got going on. Final thoughts on this picture. The poll is 20, 30, 50 is a maybe. So I'm going to end the poll. The poll 1 is a maybe. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. I'm kind of there myself, right in the middle. So, Mark, we'll start with you. Final thoughts on this photo. And
the photo. I mean, the photo itself. If you did the original costume, it's kind of tugging on the heartstrings, and I can see why they did it, to get that out there, to do that, to get the more than just the casual fan to watch it. But at the same time, I'm not going to see this at the theater. I will sell the high seas of the internet and watch it. I don't think it's worth paying the money to go see it, in my opinion.
You got anything coming up you want to promote, throw out there? Anything?
Nothing coming up. I might be live streaming again once my voice gets a little bit better. I'm starting to lose it again. And hopefully on Wednesdays and Sundays might do something. But right now, it's till I get better talking. It'll be just that. Nothing right now.
Okay. Classic.
Well, as far as the Superman movie goes, I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping it will be good, but again, the movies they've thrown so many characters in it, and it just feels less like it's going to be a Superman movie and more like it's going to be, welcome to the Gunverse movie. Welcome to DC, James Gunn's DC universe, which is not what I would want it to be. But we'll see. I'll at least wait till I see a trailer before I try to pass judgment. I don't really have a whole lot coming up right now. I've got a drill this weekend, so I'm going to be busy with that. So probably not much next week, but maybe the week after that.
Okay. Good evening, Dak. She says, "Oh, I see the collar thing now. Looks like he's wearing a turtleneck." Yeah, it looks like he's wearing a turtleneck. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Oh, but New 52, Loki, it was so good. Okay. But, yeah, no. Nope. Call me a codgy old man. Call me whatever. Call me a Yahtzee. Call me a ist and ob. Call me whatever you want to. I don't like it. So I'm in the maybe camp. Maybe it would be good. I don't have a lot of hope, but I don't know. Gunn did something special with Guardians. I don't think Superman's going to be alone in this movie. We're gonna have some guests, some guest stars, some other superheroes. Maybe that's where the comedy will come in. I just hope they don't do it too much with him. I really don't. I can see some stuff with Krypto, like Krypto tearing up the house or shooting heat vision through the wall or some shit like that, and Clark being like, "No, don't do that. No, dog." That would be kind of funny. But anything beyond that, he's a respected classic character. Don't make him a fool. God help me. Don't make him Star-Lord, please.
Mm-mm.
He's not Star-Lord. He doesn't need to be Star-Lord. He doesn't need to be a fool.
I'm gonna make
He's
a prediction.
Superman.
I'm gonna make a prediction. See that Gunn's in charge. We're gonna get Bizarro.
Yeah,
think-
that's pretty much already been revealed.
Oh,
yeah,
really? I
yeah,
didn't know
that's
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Luthor creates a clone.
Oh,
Well, I don't.
okay.
Well, maybe,
God.
and that's kind of what the movie's about.
I didn't even know that. So, geez.
Oh. So I figured. I mean, it was out on the web a while, like a couple of months ago. So
I
They
don't
did the
think-
exact same thing in the animated Death of Superman film. Luthor creates a clone of Superman, not Superboy, Superman. And he has his own Superman that is an evil Superman. And Clark comes back and they end up fighting and they fight and Clark wins, the real Superman wins, and the other one dies. That sucked. That was so anticlimactic. There was no Steel. There was no Last Son of Krypton. My favorite. Because of the visor. No Cyborg Superman. No Superboy. Just a clone Lex made. That. Yeah, no Supergirl. Nothing. If they're going to do this shit, they need to do it right. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm middle of the road. I'm right where you guys are. 50% of you said maybe. So I'm there. Guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out with us tonight, talking comics. I want to thank my panelists, my co-host, Mark the Amply Tired and Classic Comics. Thank you guys for being here. Maybe 24 will be back next week. I don't know. I don't know about Mark D with C. I know he had plans tonight, and we went anyway because we've been gone for a couple of weeks. So it's good to be back. We'll keep coming back on Wednesday nights, hanging out with you guys, talking comics. And now we're gonna get out of here. Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. We'll see you on the next Clobberin Times Comic Book Roundtable. Have a great Wednesday night, everybody.
good night, folks.
Good night.
And I'll do it for him. Peace.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.